Good evening, everybody. We got here another 1v1 on Arabia, this time between ACCM and Slam, two top players. So, in the red, we do have Slam playing as the Britons, and his enemy playing as the Sicilians, ACCM. So, right off the bat, taking a look at their maps, ACCM does have a fairly easy wall off on the right side of his base, but wide open on the west. With two forward golds there, he will be able to wall into his berries in the early ages, but definitely a very open map. But when I say open map, take a quick look at Slam's. That is a horrible map to start out with. He's got a forward main gold, forward two stones. He's got two back golds that could be walled, part of the wall. But a very open map. Even the wood lines are going to be rangeable. Should there be any archers, we will see if that happens in the feudal age. So if I'm Slam, definitely thinking of playing as aggressive as possible, especially with this map. I do prefer just that little bit of shelter that ACCM does have with his current map. Even if he were to drop a wall here and then there, he's got this back safe area. He can collect wood that is out of range for the first couple of ages of the game. Both players now scouting one another. ACCM going forward, taking a look at seeing what exactly is going on with Slam's base, and he will see how open it is. Even the berries are off to the side, but fairly forward. And the wall offs are already starting for ACCM. He is going for a house and a barracks wall. He will be going for a drush to begin the game. Pretty early rush right off the bat. And so far, no barracks yet for Slam. Obviously, it could still come up, but we will see if there is a drush in response, and there is, yes. But it might be a little bit late. There will already be a militia and a scout in his base attacking his berries, which are wide open right now. This was a very early drush, probably a lot earlier than Slam was counting on. And Slam losing some HP on his scout. He's not able to quick wall himself in. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit here. That town center does take out the scout, but he loses a villager. That will be... You know what? I think that's worth it to lose your scout for a villager at this point in the game. Never ideal, of course, to be losing a scout, especially when the enemy scout's out there. But the Slam scout does have pretty weak HP, so it won't be too much. And look at how much later Slam is with his militia. 3 militia coming out now. He is only on his second one being produced, but he is 77% of the way up to the next age. Already sent a couple villagers over to gold. Yay! He will be sending more to gold, surely. Playing as the Britons, we do expect archers coming forward. And instead of cleaning up the drush back at home, he decides to go forward, see if he upgrades these guys to man-at-arms before he tries to engage. No, he decides... He does upgrade to man-at-arms, but he does decide to defend with his archers instead of defending with those man-at-arms instead. The militia just attacking this mill, forcing some idle time, and Slam, just with the distractions going on, lots of idols underneath his town center right now. They will be going out to wood, and he will be producing archers. Need a couple more on gold in order to make archers work, but with man-at-arms coming forward, we will see some form of aggression. The first archer is on his way out, and already the walls go up for Slam. He is protected from these militia, as ACCM is still in the Dark Age. Of course, looking at ACCM's population, he is going up with 31 pop, of course 3 of those being military, so he will have a very strong economy to hit the feudal age with. And he is fully walled off at home, just adding a secondary wall now. And the archers for Slam will be able to push back these militia. Obviously, militia unable to engage with the archers at this level. The archer will be able to back up, shoot, back up, shoot, back up, shoot. And we do see the man-at-arms and the scout causing a little bit of delay, lots of idle time from these two villagers having to re-wall behind, and really lots of just added resources having to be spent to defend against this. But overall, when we take a look, we do see quite a big villager lead for ACCM. That is because he delayed his feudal age so much, but also because he's consistently been producing villagers due to the fact that he's had consistent untouched economy this entire game. But with these two archers coming forward, all of a sudden these villagers walling behind will start to get picked off, and we will see a little bit more panic coming from ACCM as he tries to wall behind. And a 2 villager lead for ACCM. He is getting the feudal age upgrades now, and he is trying to build a archery range at home to add just that little bit more defense. Fletching already coming in for Slam. Such strong archers from the Briton line, and this house will go down, but in response there will be a skirmisher on the other side pretty soon, and that will be a quick response. ACCM deciding to just wall to his town center and not push too hard. Just in time he does get that house up, and this militia will go down to the archer, and there it goes, it falls. Now these two archers on the wood line causing disruption, not going to take out any villagers necessarily, especially with these skirmishers here, but they will just cause inefficiencies and pain points, really, at the end of the day. Slam does have a pretty big score lead. That is due to the fact that he has 10 military compared to the 3 of ACCM. Those 3 skirmishers being all that ACCM has in defense right now. But a 3 villager lead, 4 villager lead, he has had a much more efficient town center, definitely, than Slam. But it is that never-ending tale of stronger military or stronger economy. Obviously, it's always about some form of balance. Back at home, Slam is continuing to produce archers, not adding skirms in yet. We'll see if he does decide to add in any skirmishers later on, once the massive skirm starts to add up for ACCM. Obviously, even just 1 or 2 scouts would be able to take out the skirmishers. Slam right now deciding not worth it to engage this many skirmishers. We do see 6 skirmishers now for ACCM, so that is enough to defend behind these walls. Slam deciding instead, get an eco upgrade and really focus on the economy. He does have military moving forward. He is still just on 1 archery range, as is ACCM, but that 2nd archery range now getting dropped on the front, so he will be able to outmass ACCM very shortly. Not that he hasn't already.
Ready.
And when we're looking at going up to the next stage, both players very close actually with their food counts. ACCM a little bit ahead when it comes to the gold count. He is at almost 400 gold already, and he will be looking to get up to the next age much sooner. Obviously, with all these skirmishers not costing gold, that does give him just that little bit of an advantage in the gold aspect. However, it does make him fall slightly behind in the food side of going up to the next age. And just like that, we do see ACCM click up to the next age faster. He did get into the feudal age with a very strong economy, able to get those eco upgrades and able to mass those villagers. Slam will be clicking up shortly. He does have the resources, and there we go. He has clicked up now, and we see a 4 villager lead for ACCM. But he has half the military. So once we get to the next age, it looks like we will, as no one is surprised by, see crossbows from the British player, Slam, and we will of course see a few more skirms and maybe even crossbows coming out in defense for the Sicilians.
Ready.
And with this many miners on gold, 10, he will confidently be able to continue to produce archers. He will be able to get upgrades that are needed, and he will be able to save up a little bit of gold as he continues on. Slam, causing some damage on the wood line, unable to take any pickoffs, but this big army of ACCM now coming forward. Slam forced to engage and loses all of his melee at the front. Now only a 2 military difference between the two. ACCM able to catch up as he drops a gate to protect his economy. And crossbow immediately in for ACCM as Slam is forced to run. Slam moving on back. He will decide to run a little bit. He drops that tower for safety. Obviously not ideal when you are trying to beat someone who has a better economy than you. You never want to be having to drop a tower, but due to the fact that his gold and stones are on the front, he doesn't really have a choice here. He is open. Okay, he does have that house wall, but these crossbows will still be able to attack in behind his economy. And here we have pretty equal upgrades, but able to now pretty much one-shot villagers if they do make the hits. Takes out a couple villagers. ACCM gaining more and more of a villager lead as we continue. As you can see, 7 villager difference now between the two of them. But again, the military is creeping up for Slam. Slam camping this lumber camp, but unable to do too much damage. If he gets in behind here on this other lumber camp, he will be able to take out a ton of villagers.
Ready.
And now ACCM will just continue to distract with this military at the top as Slam micros down where he can, but a mangonel is coming and that will force Slam to turn back around. ACCM unable to get the shot out for that mangonel. And no siege workshop yet for the Briton player. ACCM actually able to get a pretty good engagement here, but Slam with the micro is able to take out those last 2 crossbows. He should at least. And we will see exactly what happens. Will they be cornered in here? And yes, they will. So unable to run away there, and they do get taken out just as the main army comes back around. A couple villagers picked off by Slam there. He still is 6 villagers behind and pushed back by this mangonel, causing lots of idle time for these villagers as a new lumber camp will be dropped right here. And more crossbows causing more damage. The one difference between these two players is right now Slam has had the majority of his crossbows in bigger bulk than what we've seen from ACCM. ACCM splitting up his army a little bit more. Of course, with the skirmishers, they do much less damage against villagers, but much more damage against the archers. This little army will be pushed back, especially with the reinforcements of Slam being able to go right back in. And Slam has built nothing but crossbows this entire game, other than, of course, the man-at-arms. But no skirmishers have come forward for him, whereas we have seen a lot of skirmishers for ACCM. And now, to push his economic lead, we do see the Sicilian player, ACCM. He is putting his second town center to use, and he is growing his lead more and more every second. 12 villager lead right now. Second town center only just going up for Slam. And Slam unable to really push anywhere here, as this mangonel and these skirmishers will be able to engage and push back where needed. See how many villagers can get picked off here. One goes down, and that is it. They hide within the town center. Unable to do too much. ACCM looking to corner off the enemy player. And already getting ballistics. Slam still no university up. He is decided to go for a third town center before going for the university. But the Sicilian player already with 3 town centers and the university with ballistics. That will make a huge impact with these engagements. This mangonel, will it get a good shot off? It doesn't get the hit, but it might just stay up. Will it get repaired in time? No, it will not. But the entire crossbow army still falling for Slam, and we now see a pretty tight race for military, with ACCM having a slight lead. Now 4 town centers for the Briton player. Of course, having those cheaper town centers, he does have the ability to add in more. But what we are seeing in response to the skirms, to the mangonels, is a stable. Stable being so strong, stable units will be able to take out skirmishers very easily, and of course a natural counter to any mangonels that might come out. ACCM smartly mixing in more crossbows with his military. That will provide more of a variety, and also adding a scorpion. Scorpions really being used a lot more now than they were traditionally, but very strong against clumped up archers. Of course, a few knights in front of those archers will make a big difference though. And Slam is not fully walled in on this western side, but he does have a lot of protection from his 2 town centers at home. Small army going forward, but a big mass of 17 crossbows and skirmishers will be camping on the other side of these wood lines, unable to take anything out as Slam is protected within his own economy. And this might be a case of ACCM going too far in. Slam with the town centers for protection. He does have 11 crossbows and 3 knights now for defense, as well as the town center fire, which got a few easy shots off before these skirmishers and the rest of the army for ACCM can come over. ACCM deciding to go stay around the wood lines. He does take out 2 villagers, 3 villagers go down, but Slam is going to corner him. Slam knows where ACCM is going. He is going to cut off the enemy. And Slam looking to go way forward with a castle in the future, but first needs to take out this army. As the whole army, this castle is going to be denied if he goes forward without his military protecting him. And his military will see those archers, those scorpions, and good call, Slam deciding to turn right back around, as now Slam is stuck, trapped in between the 2 armies of ACCM. Those scorpions getting so many free shots. Look at how quickly these crossbows are going down, and just like that, the massive army of Slam is completely gone, and the lion even joins in the engagement. The castle deciding to go back in defense. That castle will make it up, especially with the 11 villagers that are building it, and that will protect his stone and a little bit of the front of his base. So ACCM is 20% of the way to the next age, and has a massive lead militarily and a 7 villager lead. Right now, Slam does have 4 town centers. He is producing archers, he is producing knights, but deciding to idle his military buildings, idle his town centers. He is waiting to save up to the next age, and he is going to click up to the Imperial Age very shortly as soon as he gets enough gold, which will be very quickly here. And he is at enough gold. Will he click up? He clicks up. But 50% of the way up already is ACCM. As he's coming in on this other wood line, Slam with nothing for defense over here. Villagers will start falling quickly. Multiple villagers down already. Will there be any more? 1 more goes down. 2 more go down. Castle gets a couple of free shots on. Picks off a couple of archers. Skirmishers go down. and that is a pretty good shot. Second castle now will go up in defense and protect that western side. That's a very unique place to be chopping wood, way over here, and I wonder, has this been spotted in the fog of war? No, it has not. I was wondering if ACCM was maybe going over that way, but no, he has not spotted that yet. He is in the next age. He does have a castle immediately producing trebuchets. He will look to treb down the castle on the front. He doesn't quite yet know about this castle going up on the southwest side of Slam's base. He will engage against these crossbows. Slam happy to lose that military if it means that this castle will go up, and that castle will definitely go up at this point in time. He likely won't lose a single villager, and castle goes up, gets a couple of shots off. But Slam getting attacked on the other side of his base now. ACCM choosing to go right underneath the town center, unafraid to sit underneath this arrow fire. I don't know how I feel about this. It is idling Slam's TCs so much. It's idling his entire economy. But is it worth it, really? The military lead still in favor of ACCM, as Slam tries to defend as much as possible, and coming forward with longbows against the trebuchets. Of course, longbows having 6+3 range. Sorry, 5+5 range versus the 5+3 of the skirms. So they do outrange the skirmishers. But this is the main force. Slam getting bombarded by all sides from ACCM. Fantastic play from ACCM at this point in time, repairing up that trebuchet. This castle will go down. There's nothing that Slam can do about it, as he loses more and more villagers on the western side of his base. And another mangonel will come out for Slam. This castle falls to the 3 trebuchets. The longbows able to do a little bit of damage. Obviously that extra range, that extra attack, very, very good, but not quite as strong as Arbalests. And especially with this economy falling, there is a 24 villager lead, and yeah, that's it for Slam. There were a couple of moments where he may have had an advantage. I think specifically of that moment where he tried to do the wraparound, did not cut off that army, and immediately afterwards was trapped between the 2 armies of ACCM when he tried to put that castle on the front. And after that moment, he fell too far behind Slam, unable to keep up, but a great game of ranged units.